Hi everyone, David here from Beyond EV, and this episode is going to be the start of a new BYD news format that I'm going to be trialing. This format series will be called the Beyond EV BYD Bulletin, and I will aim to release at least one of these about once a week, and it will cover current BYD news and events that have occurred around the world over the past week or so. If you see the little BYD Bulletin logo in the thumbnail, then you know that video is going to be a BYD Bulletin news video. And there's a few reasons as to why I'm trialing this new content format. And if you're interested in hearing about that, then stick around to the end of the video. But for now, let's get right into this week's news stories on Beyond EV BYD Bulletin. Now, just to get into the format, at the start of each bulletin, I'm going to list the topics of the day here to my right. And you can navigate to the story you are interested in listening to using the chapters below. But first up, Car News China have reported on documents that have been submitted by BYD to China's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, also known as MIIT. And it confirms that BYD are set to begin production of what will be the most powerful production car in the world. And this is not an exaggeration. The ministry files note specs and drawings of a new variant of the already amazing Yangwang U9 supercar. The Yangwang U9 Track Edition is what this new variant is going to be called, and when it rolls off the production line, it will wear the crown as being not just the most powerful electric car in the world, but the most powerful production car in the world, period. The new Yangwang U9 Track Edition will be built on BYD's existing E4 quad motor platform, but unlike the current Yangwang U9 that features motors and technology from about 2 years ago now, the Track Edition will feature current BYD technology that has come to life in 2025, and this includes new motors powering each of the four wheels. The U9 Track Edition will feature four 555 kilowatt electric motors. So if you put that together, the U9 Track Edition will output 2,220 kilowatts, or just over 3,000 horsepower. And this is living proof of how fast BYD technology has developed over the course of just 2 years. The U9 Track Edition power output is double of what the current U9 is able to produce. The three most powerful production cars in the world right now are all pure electric cars, and they are the Lotus Evija, the Pininfarina Battista, and the Rimac Nevera. Now, interestingly, the Battista and Nevera, despite being separate brands from two separate auto groups, Mahindra and Volkswagen, both of these cars are actually made out of the same assembly plant in Croatia. But all three hover around the 1400 to 1500 kilowatt power output mark. However, the BYD Yangwang U9 Track Edition, when it rolls off the line, all three marks will be having to play a bit of catch-up, as the U9 Track Edition will instantly roll into the top spot as the most powerful production car in the world, outputting 48% more power than the next car in the number 2 spot. The top speed of the U9 Track Edition is listed at 350 kilometers an hour, aided by an aero-optimized design, which includes a fixed carbon fiber rear wing, wider 20-inch wheels, and enhanced downforce features. But as we saw with the current Yangwang U9 at the Nürburgring earlier this year, which was able to reach 391 kilometers an hour when it was recording its lap time, it's pretty much expected that the new Track Edition's top speed will be significantly higher than what's been claimed. Despite the massive power boost, the U9 maintains the same 80 kilowatt-hour BYD LFP blade battery pack and will support up to 500 kilowatts of DC fast charging speeds, which will get it from 30% to 80% in about 10 minutes, and it's able to reach a range of 450 kilometers on a CLTC range. But we know that realistically, if we're looking at WLTP, it'll be around the 350 kilometer mark. The U9 Track Edition tips the scales at around 2,600 kilograms, and it's about 5,800 pounds, making it quite a chunky boy. But considering that it will feature Yangwang's signature DSUS-X intelligent suspension system, and this will enable the U9 Track Edition to perform gravity-defying maneuvers such as vertical jumps, which can be performed both stationary and in motion. It can continue driving on just 3 wheels, and it can also be controlled and maneuvered via the gyroscope on your smartphone. Just tilt your phone in your hand and the car will move around for you. In short, the BYD Yangwang U9 Track Edition will rewrite the rules in automotive development. A car that has the ability to jump over potholes with 2,220 kilowatts of power at its disposal is nothing short of incredible. And it's a clear sign that BYD is committed to continuously improving their EV technology. Now, back here in Australia, where BYD have just announced a new extended range variant of the popular Sealion 6 plug-in hybrid, which at the time of this episode is currently Australia's best-selling plug-in hybrid SUV. With more than 5,000 Sealion 6s already on the road this year, the new Sealion 6 Dynamic Extended Range will bring greater electric driving capability and more efficiency than ever before. The new Sealion 6 Dynamic Extended Range will feature a new 26.6 kilowatt-hour BYD LFP blade battery. That's a 45% increase on the Sealion 6 Dynamic Standard Range model, and will push EV-only range from about 80 kilometers up to a possible 140 kilometers depending on driving conditions. And for longer trips, the BYD Sealion 6 Dynamic Extended Range DMI hybrid system will deliver a combined driving range of about 1,092 kilometers on the WLTP cycle, which is actually more than enough to get from Melbourne to Sydney without having to stop to recharge or refuel. But given how long that drive takes, I'd still be stopping for a coffee out at Albury or Yass or something like that on the way through. I was actually first made aware of the Sealion 6 Dynamic Extended Range back when I was on the BYD tour in China earlier this year in May. But at the time, BYD didn't have a definitive timeline of when it would be made available. But now I am pleased to confirm that as of this week, the Sealion 6 Dynamic Extended Range is available to order at a national retail price of $46,990 plus on-road costs, with premium paint options for an extra $900. That's about $1,000 more than the outgoing Sealion 6 Dynamic Standard Range. But given the 48% increase in battery capacity, I believe it is well worth that extra money and will slot in nicely between the entry-level Sealion 6 Essential at $42,990 and the top-spec Premium all-wheel drive at $52,990. Now on to news from Europe, where the worlds of electric mobility and elite football converge again on the global stage. Following on from BYD's partnership with UEFA as the e-mobility partner of the 2024 Euro tournament in Germany, it was announced in July that BYD has officially become the global automotive partner of Italian football giants Inter Milan, in a strategic agreement that will span the next 3 seasons. As part of this collaboration, BYD will provide Inter Milan with approximately 70 custom-designed vehicles for Inter's first-team players, coaching staff, and top-level management. The first of which will actually be an Inter Milan special edition variant of the Sealion 7 EV, which will be customized with features inspired by Inter's iconic blue and black colors. And this Inter Milan special edition Sealion 7 will actually be a variant option that Inter supporters will soon be able to buy and own themselves through a limited edition release. But that is not all. An exclusive range of purchasing and rental programs tailored for Inter fans around the world is also in the works. This will provide a unique way for fans of the club to make the transition to greener automotive alternatives. The partnership between BYD and Inter Milan also supports the launch of BYD's premium Denza brand in Europe that occurred this year as well, providing the ability to leverage Inter Milan's global platform to showcase their premium Denza EV and hybrid options that are being released in various markets around the world in 2025. This is a pretty landmark agreement for BYD, and it puts BYD's electric vehicles on one of football's biggest stages for the next 3 seasons. And I'm sure we'll see and hear more about this collaboration in the years to come. Now, that's it for this week's episode of BYD Bulletin. What did you think? Did you find this format interesting and a good way to stay up to date with what BYD is doing around the world each week? Let me know down in the comments. Now, the reason I'm actually doing this format is that there is a lot of BYD news that occurs around the world almost on a daily basis, and it's actually becoming quite difficult to pick what to do my next video on and then commit to it. The way things go at the moment is I will pick a topic to make a video on, and it takes about 2 weeks or so to produce it. But during that 2 weeks, 10 or more things will happen in the BYD world. And by the time I get around to releasing videos on those new topics, it's already old news. Now, if you didn't know already, I actually have a blog website. Here it is below, beyondev.xyz, and it's the platform I use to detail a lot of this news that doesn't make it into my videos as it occurs. But for some reason, Google doesn't like my website, so none of my articles pop up on any Google news feeds or anything like that. But what does pop up on Google news feeds are my videos that I post right here on YouTube. So I figured, why not cover BYD news in a video format and see how that goes? And so, here we are. I'll still make the long form format videos that I usually do on specific topics, but I'll be keeping that format for important topics and events that are deserving of their own video. Now, if you're still here and new to this channel, then welcome to Beyond EV. This is a channel dedicated to showcasing and explaining news, events, and technological developments of BYD. And I know what you might be thinking, and no, I'm not actually affiliated with BYD, and I'm not paid by anyone. I am completely independent. I'm just really into the technology that BYD develops and puts out. And it's not just the cars. I'm talking batteries, phones, tablets, trains, buses, everything. I'm interested in their meteoric rise in the EV industry and the story behind it, and I'm deeply interested in the technological innovations that they have brought to the world and continue to improve on since their inception. So if you are new here and want to know more about the BYD brand, then please consider subscribing and take a look at the library of videos I've created so far. There's plenty of BYD topics that have been covered, and I'm sure you'll find something that suits your interests. And for existing subscribers, if you love this content, then please consider becoming a Beyond EV member. Just click the join button below and get a look at the different member tiers that start at just $1.49. Every little bit helps, and as I said before, I'm not paid by anyone, and I definitely appreciate your support. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching. That's it for this week's episode of BYD Bulletin, and I hope to see you in the next one.